Hey, what's up, y'all? It's Anish. I'm back again with another video. And I wanted to talk about the hit heard around the world, the Azeez Al-Shaair illegal hit on Trevor Lawrence, earning him a 3-game suspension. And it's very tough. Obviously, you don't want to see any player get injured, especially with a concussion. But this whole scenario, this whole situation is very fishy. I think with such a bang bang play, it's hard to identify someone's intention, especially with how quarterbacks are sliding late. According to Tom Brady, that's something that they're taking advantage of. And Azeez Al-Shaair was just doing his job. He was defending every blade of grass, defending the first down. But Trevor Lawrence, he was going for that first down, and him being as tall as he is, he has a big hit box. If to put it in another way. But so Azeez Al-Shaair, he's trying to prevent Trevor Lawrence from getting the first down, and he goes in for the tackle, and then Trevor Lawrence slides late, and unfortunately, his head hits the ground, and not because of the hit, but just because of the reaction to getting tackled. And so that caused Trevor Lawrence to get a concussion and the ensuing outrage from the sidelines. And I think it wasn't an overreaction from the Jaguars bench to go out and be mad at Azeez for doing that hit. I would want the same if DJ Stroud got tackled in the same way. But there's just the main word that would best describe the situation is hypocrisy. Just consistency across the league, like Nick Casario mentioned, where there are even more dirty plays out there, but for some reason the league decided we'll make an example out of him. And so there's just no consistency across the league. I also did want to mention that there's also hypocrisy in the roughing. They missed a head-to-head contact with Nico Collins. They missed a helmet to the chest to CJ Stroud on one of the first plays of the game. There's also hypocrisy of people who have reviewed the case. John Runyon, who cites that Azeez Al-Shaair played with a lack of sportsmanship, is not the person who should be saying that because he has a reputation of being a dirty player in his days. The person who reviewed Azeez Al-Shaair's appeal for the case is also a dirty player in a sense. So now that we're on the topic of player safety, the Jaguars should be investigated for putting Trevor Lawrence out there with a shoulder injury. The Jaguars ended up placing Trevor Lawrence on IR, but the reason why is because of his shoulder injury, which he needed some surgery to repair it, and not because of the concussion. But as you know, with the era of social media, a lot of these key details are left out, and people are blaming Azeez for effectively ending Trevor Lawrence's season, which that isn't the case at all. Football minds like Tom Brady, Richard Sherman, saying that we need to start talking about quarterback sliding late. It's not fair for the defenders whose job is already hard as it is in a league that favors offenses. And people have been citing Azeez has a history of violence. I mean, there are certain situations where he like just punches Roshan Johnson on the sideline just for no reason, I think, and he like chokes Tom Brady. But the other times where he like maybe tackles Tony Pollard late or hits Caleb Williams late, I think that's just very, very hard to tell whether he was had intent for that. And if Azeez Al-Shaair really meant to hurt Trevor Lawrence, I think he would be standing over him after the hit, but immediately he like rolled over. I don't know if people like saw like the end of the play, but he immediately tried to roll over and he was like confused why he got the flag because he like did his best to try and avoid the situation. But when people are slowing down the play frame by frame, it's hard to tell what your intention is. It looks very damning on him on his part if you just pause every frame, but this play happened within milliseconds. So, and the reaction time of someone is gonna be a lot higher than that. So that's really tough, but there's just a lot that people aren't talking about. They're calling Azeez Al-Shaair the most dirtiest player they've ever seen, which is far from the truth. So much community service. It's hard that people are saying that he is just this awful person. And so I hope Azeez is doing okay. I'm sure he'll come back with a vengeance. He posted this picture of the Joker on his Instagram. So he's like, if y'all want to make me the villain, fine. And so he kind of like leaning into that. and I wonder what this means for the identity for the Texans. You have D'Amico Ryans coming out and saying that we stand by Azeez, we support him. You have players coming out and supporting Azeez, and I think that was one thing that this Texans team was missing is this identity. Felt like they were just playing games, but just like very mindlessly and didn't have any sort of fight in them. They just let teams catch up to them and eventually lose very close games. And so I think with the bye week coming up, I think this is a great opportunity for the Texans to reevaluate who they are, especially for this upcoming stretch. You have the Dolphins, you have the Chiefs, the Ravens coming up. Those are very, very huge games. We have Christian Harris returning after the bye. And so this is like great timing for us. Our linebacker quality doesn't drop off too much without Azeez, and it will be good to see Christian Harris back. We've definitely been needing him, and it'll be good to see what our defense looks like with both Azeez and Christian Harris out there. But with the team rallying around this incident, you saw it with the Lions with the Brian Branch suspension. They kind of rallied around. They made whole T-shirts for this. It's becoming Houston versus the world, which is what we've seen in the past. Houston teams just adopt this villain role. We saw it with the Astros, saw it with the Rockets, and now it's the Texans, who everyone kind of saw as like darlings last year with Stroud having such a great rookie season. But that's all from me, guys. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. As always, take care.